Welcome to Quest ALTV. Today we're going to build the uh, alien attacker ship from Independence Day. This was suggested by a viewer, so thank you for that. And you'll need to be level 60, have a outpost with a shipbuilder, have piloting skill 3, starship design 4, and then afterward, you'll need to visit New Homestead to get the Cabot C3 bridge. So, keeping that in mind, let's go to the ship parts. Here's the ship parts screen and a look at what the two ships look like next to each other. It was a complex cowled ship with some organic elements, so I did the best I could, but here's the ship parts for you. We'll check out the total value of the ship so you'll know how many credits you may need to earn to build this ship. Um, but let's start building it. Okay, we're going to start with the Shipbed 200 landing bay from Tayo Astroneering. And I chose this one because it has connectors on both sides and the back of it there. And on the back of it, which is how this particular ship bed connects, we're going to connect the Deimos storeroom. But even if you don't connect from the bottom, if you choose a different landing bay and then connect from the top, you'll still need this Deimos storeroom because on the bottom of it, we're going to place the 100 DP Slim Docker so that you can dock with a space station or another ship. And on the aft portion, the aft connector to the Deimos storeroom, you're going to place the Novacalling 2LBA bottom aft configuration of that. Then we're going to take 4 of the Acculander 11 landing gear and place them on the ship so that we have landing gear. You can cycle through these by hitting Z. And I chose the one with the connectors on all sides. But afterward, you can hit Z a couple times and cowl the ship differently if you like. We're going to place those in the starboard and port connectors for the Shipbed 200 landing bay and the Deimos storeroom. All right. Then we're going to place the Novacalling 2L, 4 of those. And we'll place the aft portion of the Novacalling 2L starboard aft configuration next to the Acculander 11 gear that is connected to the Shipbed 200 landing bay. Okay, and then we'll place another Novacalling in the front of that. Now let's delete this one, and then if you Control G on this one and then you have it backwards, you see, like this, then you can cycle through with the arrow key to get this other configuration. Place that on the front there. Then we're going to place 2 Stroud Cap A's. Now normally this cowling would be for this side because this is the port forward bottom configuration, but we're going to place it opposite. We're going to place the port fore bottom on the starboard side and the starboard fore bottom on the port side. Okay? And that goes between the 2 Nova cowlings and in front of the Acculander 11 landing gear that's connected to the shipbed. And then we're going to place 2 Deimos bumpers in the port aft position on the starboard side on the inside of this Nova cowling. And this Deimos bumper in the starboard aft configuration on the port side inside of this Nova cowling here. And that's going to sort of create the mandible, organic sort of mandible look to that part of the ship. Then I'm going to double click on everything. You can see it's all connected, and we're going to move it away a little bit so that we have plenty of room to build on that. Okay, after those two Deimos bumpers, we're going to place the Deimos control station. And that goes on top of the landing gear and the storeroom. I've chosen the Deimos control station 2x1 so that you have more crew for your ship. That adds 4 additional crew capacity to the ship. Okay. After that, we're going to place 12 Nova bracers. And I'll show you how to do that with Control G. If we didn't have any of these bracers here, I'm just going to hit delete on all of them. Then you could hit Control G and just place those on the same level, like this. 2 of them are going next to the Deimos control station, and then 2 of them are going on the aft connector to that Nova bracer, so there's 4 in a row right there. Half of them being connected to the Deimos control station. And then you can hit Control G and get these other ones connected to the starboard connectors to the foremost and aftmost Nova bracer. Just for speed, then I'm going to click on these, control click on them, and bring them over and connect them on the opposite side. If you wanted to, maybe I'll stop doing this so much, but you could control click all of these pieces here. I wonder if it's going to copy it though. It won't, not that many pieces. But you could Control G any of these pieces here and bring them over, like I'm having to since I deleted all those pieces a minute ago. But it's a quick way to get the other side of the ship configured in that same manner. Alright. And after the 12 Nova bracers, we're going to use 6 Nova cowlings. And those go like this. This is the 2L starboard aft configuration of the Nova cowling. And the foremost position of that goes on the starboard connector for the Nova bracer. Do the same for this Nova bracer in the opposite fashion. This is the Nova cowling 2L starboard 4 position, and the aft portion of it goes on the starboard connector for this Nova bracer. And we'll do the same on the other side. Okay, after the Nova cowlings, we're going to use 6 Deimos hull A. The first one you'll place the aft connector for the Nova cowling on the inside here, or the aft connector for this Nova bracer. Okay. Then we're going to place 2 of them in between these Nova bracers to create the wing for the alien attacker ship. Okay, and that's all of those Deimos hulls connected. Then we're going to connect these Dun 71 engines. This goes behind this Nova bracer. That's the connector for it. And this is the aftmost Nova bracer that's in that line of 4 Nova bracers that we placed. You can do the same on the other side, but you could also just place your next Dun 71 engine right next to that one, because there's a connector there. So you can hit Control G on that, copy it next to it, place this next one here. Alright, after the Dun 71 engines, we're going to place 6 Deimos bumpers. So this is the port aft Deimos bumper and the starboard aft Deimos bumper. Those go on the outside port and starboard connectors for the aft portion of the Dun 71 engine. Two more of those will go in the aftmost Deimos hull on the starboard, the port connector for that Deimos hull, and the starboard connector for that aftmost Deimos hull in this little pair right here, right? And then we're going to use the starboard 4 configuration for that on the front. Okay, and then that creates the cowl of the wing where it comes to a point on the side of the ship. If you were copying these over, you can hit Control G on this one, and since this is in the port aft position, you can hit your arrow keys to get the port 4 version of that and place it there. And then we're going to place, I forgot to place with you guys the Nova Cowling 2L on the front of this Nova bracer. Okay. And on the front of this Nova bracer here, aligned one level up from the Stroud Cap A, but outside of it there. And that's going to be important because we're going to place two Nova radiators on the inside connector of these Nova cowlings in the foremost position. Okay? Because that's where the connector for the Nova radiator is on the side like that. And then inside of the 4 Deimos Hull A that we have in 2 pairs here, we're going to place the Caravel V101 cargo hold for a little bit more cargo on the ship. This is from Protectorate Systems and provides 225 cargo. This is how much cargo I was able to add to the ship with its current cowling and structural configuration to give a total of 1,180 cargo to the ship and still leave it with a mobility of 100. And then sort of hidden inside the ship, we're going to place the Vanguard Bulwark Shield Generator. That is from Vanguard, requiring 12 max power and providing 1,450 shield max health at a regenerate of 6%. Okay. Now let's double click on that. It's all connected up. Let's bring it closer to the center. All right, maybe zoom in and on a little bit more. I tend to zoom so far back, maybe it's harder for you guys to see. After the shield generator, we're going to take the Deimos workshop. I always like to have a workshop on my ship for working on arms and armor. And that goes directly above the control station that we placed earlier. This is the Deimos Workshop 2x1. Okay. Then we're going to place 2 of these Stroud Cowlings 3LA on the ship. And the foremost 2/3 of that goes against this Deimos workshop. On the port and starboard connectors for those. Stroud Cowling 3LA. This is the starboard top position. This is the port top position. Okay. Now on the single connector that we have for those on either side, we're going to place the Stroud Cowling 1LA. This is the starboard top version of that. And this is the port top configuration of that particular cowling. Okay. And that's going to allow us to place 6 Stroud Cap A's. And the first 2 will go in front in the 4 connector of that Stroud cowling 1LA on both the port and the starboard side. And then do the same in the aft connector for those, for additional cowling for the ship. And then the next 2 go behind on the aft connector for the Stroud cowling 3LA. And that is once again the starboard aft top and port aft top for the Stroud Cap A. All right, cool. Now we're going to place our 104DS mag inertial reactor. And that has a couple places that it can go, but I'm placing this one between the 2 Stroud Cap A's. And it has a connector on the aft portion of it. And the Aurora 13G grav drive has a connector on the 4 connector for this grav drive. The reactor provides 39 power to the ship. It's a B-class reactor. And requires piloting rank 3 because it's a B reactor, and then Starship Design rank 4. And then on top of the central Dunn 71 engine, I'm placing the HopeTech Cap B. And that has a structural connector on top of it that we'll be using for the top of the ship. Okay, then we're going to move on to 3 Deimos Hull A's, and the first one is going to go in the 4 top connector for the Deimos workshop. Okay. And then we're going to be leaving a space right here in the aft portion of the Deimos workshop. So we're going to place a Deimos Hull A on top of the mag inertial reactor right here. And then place a Deimos Hull A on the 4 connector for that. Behind the aftmost Deimos Hull A that we've just placed, we're going to place the Nova Cowling 2LTA for additional cowling on the ship. Now in front of the foremost Deimos Hull A that we've just placed, we're going to place a HopeTech Nose B. This is not an essential piece, but it sort of creates the additional cowling over what will be the Cabot bridge for the ship. Okay. Next level of the ship includes the 900T helium tank. Now I use this partially because it's great to have 650 grav jump fuel, but also because there was this circular section right here in the spine of this alien attacker ship, and I thought that it looked cool. On top of this foremost Deimos Hull A, we're going to place the HopeTech Riser A, and then behind the 900T helium tank, we're going to place another one on top of this Deimos Hull A on the ship, and those have structural connectors on the top. And then behind that, on top of the Deimos Hull A, we're going to continue the cowling for the spine of the ship with a Nova Cowling 2L top aft position. And then to complete the top of the spine, we're going to use the Nova Cowling 2L top 4 and top aft, creating that spine of the ship. Very distinct spine for this alien attacker ship. And I like the 900T helium tank there because it creates that circular look to that little section. Alright. We're going to place the weapons on the ship now. And I chose, let's see, what did I put first? The PBO 175 auto helium beams. Now those can be placed beneath the ship. There's plenty of weapon connectors down here. But I put them on this Nova Cowling 2L, the starboard aft one that I placed near the front of the ship. I placed this on its aftmost weapon connector over here. And then I placed another PBO 175 auto helium beam over here. Now this auto helium beam is from Ballistic Solutions, has a fire rate of 6, and deals 19 hull damage and 19 shield damage. Alright. And then I placed the CE-39 missile launcher on top of this Nova Cowling 2L. Now, if you like how the spine of the ship looks without the missile launcher on there, you could certainly place this somewhere else, or even place 2 missile launchers underneath some of these Nova Cowlings on the outside to hide them, so it wouldn't be on the spine of the ship. But I thought it looked okay there, for me. And then just so the ship will have an additional weapon system, oh yeah, this CE-39 missile launcher deals 109.19 hull damage, evidently, and 109.19 shield damage. But it's a pretty significant missile launcher requiring Starship Design Rank 3. And just so the ship would have 3 weapon systems, I placed this KE-20. It's just an A-class ballistic cannon underneath the ship, underneath this Nova Cowling 2L. Okay? And if you want to know, it has 3.49 fire rate, deals 17 hull damage and 5 shield damage at a max power of 3. But I just wanted the ship to have a nominal build, so you have to have 3 weapon systems if you're going to do that. Alright, and then what you'll do to complete the ship, 2 things. One, you'll probably place, we'll hit G, and then you can place any one of your cockpits here. If you have a cockpit that's remaining from the ship that you cut down to build this alien attacker, you could use whatever cockpit you have here, because pretty much all the cockpits will fit where the Cabot cockpit will fit. But I chose the Samurai cockpit for the example because it seems to have the lowest cost. Okay, but we're just going to hit escape on that. We're not going to do that. That's the cockpit that you would put on the ship to fly to New Homestead and then buy the Cabot C3 bridge, which goes right here. And I thought created a nice similar look to the alien attacker ship. These Nova radiators creating that look as you sweep down toward the mandibles of the ship, which is created by this Deimos bumper. But I think the fin looks really good, the spine of the ship, and the cowling is pretty accurate to the ship also. But no matter what, make this ship your own. You can decide to build the cowling in a different way if you like. Do whatever makes it look better for you. I'm sure you might have some better ideas than I did for the look of this ship. But that's kind of how I created the alien attacker. Now, you can double click on the entire ship, and then let's do the coloring together. Double click on the ship, move your cursor away, and then hit J. Then you can pick the main color for the ship. If you started out with a gray for the ship, you could do that. If you think that it's a gray color, the one that I saw was kind of more of a like a military sort of blue. So I went into the blue here and then increased the saturation just to get a little bit of color to the ship. You can adjust the saturation or the brightness to get the color that you want for the ship, and then just choose one of your colors. It doesn't matter which one, and then just hit accept. That will add that color to your palette, so that then you can double click on the entire ship and then move your cursor off, hit J, and then you can use that color that you've just chosen for the entire color of the ship if you want. Okay. The ship has sort of a hexagonal look to the top of the ship. So on this shroud cowling and this shroud cowling, I've just clicked on one and then control clicked on the other one, moved my cursor off, hit J, and then I think it's color 2. Yeah, if you make color 2 black, it will show you that hexagonal sort of shape to the top of the ship. And if you want to accentuate your spine, you could control click on all of these pieces for the spine as well and color them a different color. To accentuate the spine, we would go in and then maybe make this color that would normally be this darker blue color. You could make it lighter, you could increase the saturation. To accentuate the spine of the ship. That's up to you. Use whatever colors you like. Then the other thing, I said the one thing you'll have to do is put that bridge on and then fly to New Homestead. But the other thing you'll need to do is go into your weapon systems and choose how to distribute them. Now I chose the PBO 175 Auto Helium Beam for left click on the PC. The missile launcher for right click on the PC. And the KE-20 cannon for what would be G on the PC. But you could go in and choose for your second weapon system the KE-20 cannon, and then assign the missile launcher as you might normally do to G, so that you know when you're locked you can hit G and fire a missile. This would allow you to hit both left and right click at the same time to fire your auto helium beam and your cannon. Whatever you want to do. You can also mount a an auto turret on the ship somewhere, maybe somewhere near the back. You could change this cowling so that this structural connector here on the HopeTech Cap B was still available, right? If we used the Tayo cowling or maybe the other Nova cowling here, or even just if we deleted this and then Control G on this HopeTech riser, hit F to bring it down one level and place it there. Then you could place here, you could go to structural and place an equipment plate, see? And then place your turret here if you wish. I'm going to hit Control Z a couple times to get this configuration back to what it was before. Okay, and then I'm going to hit tab to exit this. This will be, you may have the other bridge on here before you fly to New Homestead, but it'll be a nominal build for the ship. And as we normally do, I'm going to take this ship off into space, and I'm going to destroy something with it. So I've taken a mission to go destroy a Crimson Fleet ship. And I'm going to walk up into the ship, and in total darkness, I'm going to find the hatch. There we go. Go directly to the cockpit. And then take off into space.
Ship's ready. Pick a star. Any star.
I like the look of the Dun 71 engines on this particular ship.
Orbital insertion complete. May now move freely.
Then we're going to distribute our energy for the ship. And it looks like we've got plenty. We could have placed more weapon systems on here. Or if you have a lesser reactor, you can see how much extra energy we have here for the ship. Okay. Now I have a bug on my name for the ship, so I didn't name it Alien Attacker, because every time I try and rename this derelict base name ship, it doesn't take the name. So, sorry about that. It has a B-class reactor. You can have up to 5 crew on this ship. 1,450 shield capacity. Beyond your hull on the ship. It has a hull of 1220 and can carry 1,100 cargo, but I think I have Sam Coe on the ship, so he increases the payload capacity. It has a jump range of 30 light years, that's the max, and it has a mobility of 100. And I believe a max speed of about 140, but we can test that out. So we've got full power to our engines. Looks like we have a cruising speed of about 180. And then we'll hit boost and get up to 4, 5, 6, 75 about, 675. So we're going to hit L. Go to our missions and go destroy the Crimson Fleet Banshee at Schrodinger. So we're going to make that our active quest, and then mouse over, go to any planet in the Schrodinger system, and then hit R to set course. With 650 helium-3, we have more than enough fuel to get there. And with that much power in our grav drive, we should jump in about 1.5 seconds, something like that.
Board's all green. Successful jump.
Ship looks really good jumping. We're going to get our grav drive powered back up. Hopefully we won't need to jump away. But this is the look of the Alien Attacker when it's in flight from this point of view. But with a mobility of 100, we should be able to do what we need to do once we find that Crimson Fleet ship. In order to find it, we're going to need to hit our map and then hit tab to go to the entire star system. And there it is. It's waiting over there around Schrodinger 4, looks like. There we go. Need to place the cursor quite a distance from that planet so that we can get to the Crimson Fleet Banshee instead. And we'll head over there. Destroy that ship, hopefully. We're crossing our fingers.
Gotta tear that ship apart!
Well, that's our guns right there. Let's get up to speed and use our maneuverability because it looks like he's got a friend.
Shields are down. We got him, Captain.
Then we're going to hit a G for that missile. And then maybe on this next ship, what we're going to do is we're going to go out here and use our ballistic weapon as well. Good grief. Maybe just use our ballistic weapon a little bit. Reloads pretty fast. And we're getting a lock, and we're going to hit the missile, and done. Destroying that ship. Still with 76% of our shield. And then, of course, you could loot these ships if you weren't a loot goblin like I am, because my ship is completely overloaded with things that I've looted before. But anyway, that's about that. It was a fun ship build, a lot of cowling on that thing, and all kinds of different ways to build it. So I'm going to put up my scheduled end screen here so you can see my other social media. Hit me up on Twitter, show me your ship builds for Starfield, or let me know what other ideas you have. Amazing, funny, tragic things that have happened to you in games, and send me some pictures of that. I would love that. And make sure to go over and check me out on the live stream while I'm playing Starfield. The schedule there is on my Twitch, so you can see what other games I'm playing. And we'll see you soon on Quest ALTV.